Your habits can make you or break you. So one of the things that you want to identify is what are those habits that are holding you back? Because those are the habits that we need to start breaking right away. We all have habits, and whether it's brushing your teeth in the morning or taking your dog for a walk, cooking, all of these habits are leading us towards our goals. So when it comes to breaking your bad habit, let's just define what exactly the bad habit is, because I think that the bad habit is anything that's moving you away from your goals. Let's take an example, eating sugar every day. Maybe you're eating chocolate, ice cream, you're just packing it on and you're taking in a lot of sugar daily. So while sugar can feel good to consume, we're doing it over the long term. You're going to start to wear down your body and it's going to put on weight, and of course there's diabetes and there's all kinds of other negative impacts that come with that. So what I have here is a system for breaking bad habits. So the first thing you want to do is identify the habit that you want to change. And you're the only one that can identify if this is a bad habit or not, depending on how it makes you feel when you're actually doing this thing. So let's take an example of eating sugar every day. Sugar can be identified as ice cream, chocolate, donuts, whatever it may be. So if you're eating 3 donuts every morning and that makes you feel really bad because it's putting on weight and it's actually not very good for you, you should build out a system for stopping that behavior. So first of all, identifying what the behavior is. Next is, how does it make you feel? And the third thing is, how are you going to stop doing this? So I'll share a little story with you on how I stopped eating chocolate. I had to recognize, first of all, that it was a problem because when I tried to stop eating it, I couldn't, and I eat it every day. I would eat it in the afternoon, at night before going to bed, which really spikes your insulin. I don't recommend that. So in order to stop this habit, here's what I did. I identified the triggers that would lead me to eating lots of chocolate, and sometimes it was ice cream and chocolate. It was a lot of sugar. So I would identify the triggers. One of the triggers was turning on the TV and watching Netflix. Immediately I wanted to have a snack in my hand. So I decided to give Netflix a break for 1 week, and then it was 2 weeks, and then it was 30 days. But what I noticed, my plan wasn't to stop watching Netflix or watching movies. My plan was to stop the habit of eating the snacks, and watching TV was the trigger for that. The other trigger was every time I went to the supermarket, I found myself just gliding down the aisle where all the snacks are, and it was just an automatic routine. Every time I went into the supermarket, I would just go down the aisle, and next thing you know, I'm filling up my cart with lots of snacks. So I made it very intentional that when I went to the supermarket, I was just going in to get my stuff and leave. And that broke the trigger. It's not easy to do, but identifying the trigger, it's going to help you to stop buying that thing that's just within your reach. Because what I found is that one thing that was leading me towards feeding into this habit was just having it available. Right? So if it was within my reach and I really wanted it at a certain time of day, I just reach over and grab it and start eating it. So anyway, your bad habit may be something different. You just have to identify what that is, and then the trigger that makes you want to feed into that habit. And the other thing is, you need to reward yourself, and you also need to track the days that you are breaking that habit. So I'd recommend getting a calendar, and for every day that you're successful in not engaging in that habit, you're going to check that off on the calendar. Just a big green check mark is fine. And using the Jerry Seinfeld approach, you want to see how many of those checks you can get in a row, and it might be 6 days, it might be 2 weeks, or it might be 30 days. If you can set a goal for yourself to do this for 30 days, I can almost promise you that it is going to change a part of your life, because first of all, you're going to feel better about yourself. I think that is the goal to shoot for. I just wanted to stop feeling like a failure every time I would feed into my addiction or my habit. So I'm calling it a bad habit, but again, the bad habit is only bad if it's something that is harming you or leading you away from your goals. So at the end of the day, we have two choices. Either the decision is moving you towards your goal, or it's moving you away from your goal. Remember, the world is in a constant state of chaos, and everything's leading towards entropy is a real thing. So you want to make sure that you're very strategic in how you're planning out your day. In a previous video, I talked about the morning routine. So if you start your day with that morning routine, your bad habits are going to have less chance of taking over your life. So the other thing is, use the calendar, be aware of your triggers, And then finally, just focus on the greatest version of yourself. You have to celebrate the fact that you made it to the end of the day without feeding into your negative behaviors, your bad habits, and it will get easier. You will stop craving these things eventually. But if you can get through the first 3 days, 4 days, the first week, you're going to change your behavior, and that's where the magic happens.